Hi everyone, welcome to another video tutorial. In this video I'm going to be walking you through sort of an entire DeepLabCut project. This is being done just for tutorial purposes, and here's the video on the screen that I'm going to be using. It's an open field test for a white mouse with a white background. I want to see how well DeepLabCut does with this type of a setting. So in this case, I'm just going to be creating a small project with one file, one video file, and then I will also show at the end how to export your model. So stay tuned for that. So first thing is to open up Anaconda, and I highly recommend doing your labeling on Anaconda on a PC before migrating your project over to Colab if you're using Colab. So you can either work directly from the command terminal or go over to the environments and open DeepLabCut from there. I'm going to be utilizing DeepLabCut GUI for this tutorial. So here I'm going to go ahead and create a new project. Let's call this project tutorial, and accidentally hit the wrong key. And for the location, let's put this, let's go ahead and put it into one of the tutorial folders I have. This is not a multi-animal analysis, so I'm not going to check this box. In terms of the videos, I do want to copy them, and I'm going to now import the videos. So that is my video over here. It's going to get copied into my project folder. I'm only utilizing one video for the sake of this tutorial. So when your new project is generated, you get a new project created message. We need to go ahead and describe our body parts. So go back to your folder and open up your config file, either in a notebook or Microsoft Visual Code, so you can manipulate some of the body parts. So here you just want to describe what body parts you will be working with. In my case, I want to take a look at the nose, the head, thorax, and tail base. These work the best for me. I want to extract 40 frames for my training, and then I want to make skeleton from the nose to the head, from the head to thorax, from the thorax to the nose, and from thorax to the tail base. So that should be fine. I personally like to have this peak cutoff value to be a little bit higher at 0.7 and the dot size to be 8 for my case. This is the dot size that will be placed onto the video when you're generating a labeled video, or when you're putting your labels on the training data set. Actually, in fact, let me decrease it to 6, and then I want my alpha value to be 0.5. This just helps me see better. In terms of training fractions, I'm only using one video, so it doesn't really matter, but I generally go with 90% training fraction and 10% for testing. Everything else, basically leave that be, and please don't change any of the paths, otherwise your files will get corrupted. Do not change any of this part here. If you are cropping your images, you can feel free to change these things here. DeepLabCut again. So this time, instead of creating a new project, we're going to load in our project. So now that has been loaded in. Going to go over to extract frames. If you would like to change any of this, please do that for yourself. I'm not going to change this, so for me it's just proceed to extracting the labels. So I'm going to pause the video until the frame extraction is done. My video frames have been extracted. You can see over here that it took about 20 minutes and 25 seconds. So let's go ahead and label our frames. So remember, I'm only working with one video for this. So over here on the right bottom, you can see all of the body parts that I'm going to be labeling. You can change the labeling scheme. I like to have it sequential, so it goes from nose, head, thorax to tail base, and it will keep it that way. You can also loop it so that it loops back to nose if you miss any of the labels. I'm going to quickly breeze through this because I don't feel like spending too much time on detailing the body parts. Okay, my labeling has been done, and I'm going to press Ctrl S or save it. And at this point we can close this out. Make sure no messages have been popping up on your terminal, and if everything is working, you can go ahead and click on check labels, and it should allow checking of the labels. What it will do is it will create PNG files, I believe, or JPEG files in one of the folders, so you can see where you have placed your labels. I personally like to do this part because it allows me to see if I've missed any frames. So there are two folders under the labeled data, and one of them is called labeled, and you can see on these ones that the labels are placed, and the skeleton, which in this case is black line, that is clearly visible. Right, so all of the video frames have labels, and the skeletons are showing up as I expected. Alright, after creating your labeled frames for training and double checking them, let's go ahead and open up our DeepLabCut again. Let's go ahead and load in our DeepLabCut config file. So we have already checked our labels. Let's go ahead and create a training data set. I know I initially wanted to do ResNet 101, but it will take up too much time and too much memory on my GPU. So what I'm going to do instead is create a MobileNet training dataset and train that. It's going to be faster but slightly less accurate than ResNet 50 or ResNet 101. But for the sake of this tutorial, let's go ahead and do that. So training dataset is done. And I'm going to just save at every 1000 iterations, and I want to do only 10,000 maximum iterations, with displayed iterations to be 100 and saving every second snapshot. Okay, so with that being done, let's go ahead and change our post configuration file a bit. So global scale, you should change that to whatever works best with your GPU. If you have it too high, your GPU might run out of memory. And then for the rotation, I'm going to use 360 degrees. And we know that mice can move 360 degrees, so I want to give my training model the 360 degree rotation. In terms of the scale jitter, I'm going to change that low value to be 0.2 and save. And then everything else should be good to go, and I'm going to press train network, and then we can move here to the terminal to see the progress. So there you can see that the training iterations have started. Now please keep in mind I am using a MobileNet, which is a little bit faster, and I'll show you how much GPU it's taking up. So my current GPU usage is only 26-27%. Maximum is 50. So in my experience, I've never seen GPU to go above 75 for the MobileNets, 75% usage. So I will let this finish up to 10,000 iterations, and then I will come back and show you how to proceed next, and then eventually we'll extract the model and export it and utilize it with Bonsai. Training up to 10,000 iterations is almost complete. So the next step for us would be to evaluate the network. For many people who will be using Colab, you can also do evaluation of your network in the in the Colab. Okay, after evaluating your network, you can move on to generating either the labels, or what you can do is you can export your model. So export model, and I'm going to put in the value R and then my file path. This is the way that you need to put your paths if you are using a Windows. Okay, if you're using a window, you just go to your YAML. This works for Windows 11. Copy as path, and let me delete this. Model R paste. Okay, and then you can just press this and it will generate the exported model for you. Your exported model is in this folder. You have a zip file and also a MobileNet folder right here. These are the things that you need. Your .pb file is right here that you would need for your Bonsai. In fact, let's open Bonsai. So that's my video, and in order for me to play this video, I can hit that play button on the top and see the video is playing. All right, so next thing is to add in the DeepLabCut stuff. And in this case, I want to do post predictions, connect these dots. Let's not do that. So then in my case, the predicted double click on this and let's put that here. And this is the 10,000 iteration.pb file that I'm going to put in. And then with that, I also need to give it the post config file, which is also within the same folder. The same folder, export model folder, that it is located in. Confidence interval and the scale factor, at this point I don't really care for those two because I only have 10,000 iterations for my model. It's not going to be super accurate, but for sake of just seeing this, let's play this out. So here you can see the predictions. They're all over the place. As you can see over here, they're a little bit all over the place when the mouse is not present. And now that the mouse is going into the chamber, CPU is 32, GPU is at 80 to 90%. And even with 10,000 iterations, the model is somewhat good. It's not the best model. 10,000 iterations are not enough, but it's doing the trick. Okay, so I just wanted to make a quick video to showcase how you can get started with DeepLabCut, train a model, export it, and how to utilize it with Bonsai. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment if you have any questions. I will try to help you out. Please keep in mind not to change your paths, not to change anything in the post config file unless you are absolutely sure that you need to change those things. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.